Imagine having a building that, you know, in most places probably would have been knocked down. This to me is nothing short of amazing.
It's a restoration where they've had to be really considered, but they've added all these magical elements that are very modern.
Stillwater's been an incredible project. We actually had to buy it from the state government. Had to do a lot of work with Culture and Heritage and National Trust to be able to do what we wanted to do.
And what was this building originally?
Well, it was originally a granary, and then the flour mill was added on and the miller's cottage afterwards. But it was such an integral part of the town because not only did it feed the town, it was actually the source of fresh water for the town as well. We really had to not only preserve the fabulous fabric that was here, but really enhance it and bring it into its modern interpretation in the community.
Oh, wow.
This is room 7. It's in the miller's cottage.
So I've really noticed this attention to detail, and I can't help but notice this amazing stone wall behind us. You've got this beautiful original texture and colours that filtrate through into the rest of the room. It's really beautiful.
And it's interesting because it was one of our biggest challenges. It had been covered over by numerous layers of plaster and render and things like that. There was rising damp in it. So we had to fix the drainage issues up above on the street level. And once we dried the whole thing up, it is just spectacular.
It is. It's really, really special.
It becomes quite a feature of the room.
Absolutely. So what other interesting features did you uncover during your project?
One of the exciting ones in this room was the beautiful Australian red cedar. We actually brought a heritage conservationist in to actually revive this little bit of timber.
So was this actually part of the original building?
Certainly was. And here's another example of a fabulous little piece of craftsmanship. Our builders actually had a little bit of Australian cedar left over in the workshop.
They're absolutely exquisite, and I love the fact that you used local craftsmen for as much as you could in this project. It makes it feel really, I think, authentic and true to the heritage of the place.
We have such incredibly talented people down here, and the skills that they have and be able to let them shine in here was a real pleasure.
Now, Kim, every good hotel room has a minibar, so I'm just wondering what makes Stillwater's so special.
I think you'll have to agree this is a minibar like no other. Welcome to a showcase of Tasmania. This is no Kit Kat and a Coke. You can have all the most fabulous of the local tipples. You have a bit of a sweet tooth. And of course, if you don't feel like reading the room and just want a nice little antipasto platter, we can take care of that too.
So Todd, working on a heritage listed building must have presented some challenges.
Definitely did present some challenges, but the nice thing about working on projects like this is they have lots of challenges, but also present some great opportunities to create some really great spaces.
And what amazing spaces they are too. I just love the way that you've incorporated these original beams into the new design.
It's a super significant building in Launceston, and great honour for us to be able to work on it. Everyone knows the building. It's obviously a really important building, so it was great to kind of give it another life in a way.
That's right, bring it into the now. So tell me a little bit more about how you approached designing each individual room.
Oh, well, it was interesting because obviously we've got an existing building and we had to try and break it up. The original brief was for 4 rooms in this building and we managed to get 6 plus the 7th one downstairs. And what we realised is we've got such beautiful large spaces, we didn't need to make the rooms quite as big across, so they could actually be quite compressed, but then you feel like you've got this great sense of space.
I'm intrigued how you worked with these gorgeous windows.
It was a great opportunity. As you can see, they're quite low. You need to duck to look out through them, but if you look out through them, you see different snippets of view, but you also need to really get close to the window to see that view out to the river, so it almost draws you over to those smaller spaces.
I love the way that you've left the actual bracing of this building exposed and actually part of the design.
Yeah, so it's that whole telling the story of what the building was and almost warts and all, what parts do we just retain. And it's, yeah, again, adds sort of texture to the space and interest.
Another beautiful room, and I love the fact it's so peaceful in here. You'd never know there was a restaurant downstairs.
In a hotel, the biggest complaint is generally noise, so we've got a working restaurant downstairs. We had to try and make sure that you couldn't hear that. When you stay in a hotel, you want to feel like you're not staying at home, you're staying somewhere special where anything could happen. And so we wanted to make them feel, I guess, like that. So they're quite a seductive type space, but also the darkness really draws your eye to the window and the view beyond. So as you can see, the concept in here was it's almost a box within the room, and when you get inside this box, it's this pop of colour. So we have a couple of different bathrooms with different colour types. We've used really nice textured finishes in here, so it feels, again, not like you're at home, but you're staying somewhere in a really nice hotel.
So Kim, I've noticed throughout the whole hotel there's a real mix between heritage and modern, and I guess no more so than in these really slick bathrooms that you have.
Well, exactly, and it's really nice to highlight those fabulous heritage features, but you really want to give it that modern luxe feel.
I love the fact there's no single-use plastic.
The whole building is recycled. You know, it was actually brought back to a contemporary use so we can actually enjoy it again. So if you think about sustainability, it's probably one of the biggest sustainability projects we've ever done.
The architects and owners of Stillwater 7 have taken the foundations of a heritage building and created something new and fresh. It considers its past, the landscape and community around it, and its occupants, creating something that never fails to surprise and delight.